It is hard to be your own cameraman. Into this, we are going to heat up this griddle. Hopefully, you guys can see all this. This griddle works best for making a big batch of this stuff, and that's what I like to do. That's what Greg recommends, is making a big batch, because it heats up very, very easily. I even eat it cold sometimes, and it does not bother me at all. You're still getting that protein, and it's delicious. This goes up to 400. I put it at about 350. It cooks it nice and slow. You can kick it up towards the end just to crisp it up a little bit if you want. It depends. It varies how it comes out. We got a bowl that we're going to use. I got a scale here. Measure out everything. I got 2 scales over here actually, but we don't probably need them both. We're going to zero that out. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in liquid egg whites. And you can play with this recipe, as Coach Greg says, Chef Greg. There are no rules in the Anabolic kitchen. So whatever you want for your ingredients that are going to fit into your calorie goals. You want to be in a caloric deficit if you're trying to cut or lose weight or lose fat. But you want all that protein for your gains and for your muscle growth and for your muscle health and things like that. So you can make this however you want. I'm going to go ahead and do this whole carton. So this thing is 32 ounces. We're going to dump this whole thing in here. I don't know if the camera can see it. And we're going to end up with a lot of protein, a lot of grams of liquid egg whites here, man. Let's see what it actually says. So we get out everything that we can get out. And we come up with 893 grams. I'm going to switch this over to milliliters just to see if it says the same thing. And yeah, 893. And I do write this stuff down as I do it. I build it into MyFitnessPal so I can see what the actual macros are. So this is 800, I just changed, 892. We're going to go with 892 milliliters of the egg whites. We're going to toss it. We're going to toss it. While this griddle is heating up, we've got 0-calorie butter spray. This came from Target, fancy store if you've heard of it. It's not really 0 calories. It adds up over time. You want to be a little bit light with it, but you got to use some. Maybe a little bit more, but you know, it's all right. That's probably a calorie or 2, so no big deal. Get it nice and hot. I could have sprayed less before. If I would have sprayed it before I turned it on, I could rub it around, sprayed a little bit less, but that's okay. We're gonna do some vanilla. We're going to pour it into the cap. For that whole batch of egg whites, I'm going to do, well, I'm going to do whatever I have in here, which is about 2 caps. Got another bottle in there, but that's probably good. Toss it. We're going to do some cinnamon, even though we're doing the cinnamon bun. I don't know how it's going to turn out, so we just want to make sure that we are getting enough. That ended up being 3 milliliters of the vanilla. Probably would like a little bit more of that, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how that works out. The cinnamon, we'll switch to grams. I think we're going to do about 10 grams. There's 8. Pour it in a little slow. You don't want to go crazy. It doesn't really matter if you go over with this though. Especially if you like cinnamon. Cinnamon adds a lot to it. Alright, there is 10 grams of the cinnamon. Alright, the Diamatize ISO cinnamon bun. We're going to do a scoop of that and just see how this comes out. I can feel that griddle getting hot. Get this bread on there pretty soon. All right, 0 out. And we've got 31 grams, which is close enough to a serving of that. 31 of that, 10 of the cinnamon. I'm gonna do some no-calorie sweetener. I know it's frowned upon in the health world, but it really does help add some sweetness without the calories for this. I can't imagine that this is any worse than the straight up shit that I would normally be eating, so I'm not gonna worry about a little bit of this here and there. And we're gonna do a little bit of this. Woo! Spilled some, 3 grams, not much. 3 grams. All right, man. I don't know if the camera can see. This is what you get. Hopefully I can find an angle in the editing. Take your whisk, stir it up. Scrape the sides off. Get all that goodness down in there. Don't whip it till it turns into eggs. Like scrambled eggs or something. Just whip it into a good mixture. Get that cinnamon incorporated. Get that iso whey protein incorporated. Incorporate the vanilla. And your chemical sugars. Looking pretty good. That is looking pretty good. That's what we need. Let me set that aside. I'm gonna grab this bread. I'm using 35 calorie Nichols light white bread. People use different kinds of bread for this. The lower the calorie, the better for me. If you want to use like a protein bread or something like that, you can. You're gonna take this and you're just going to dip it in there. You're going to soak up all that good stuff. You're going to leave it in there, toss it around, make sure you get your edges and stuff like that. You're just going to bring it out. You're going to slap it on your griddle. You're going to let it go and do what it does. But yeah, you can use whatever bread you like. Regular ass white bread is what Greg Doucette uses. I've used wheat bread, totally fine. Used high grain, whole grain, totally fine. Everything I've used works. This is what I have on hand right now. This is kind of like my new go-to bread because it's only 35 calories a slice. I have weighed this out before just to see where it's at. Not every piece of bread weighs exactly as the grams are stated on the package. You know, as you build this recipe, that if you average it out, it's going to be, especially if you're eating it all yourself, you're going to get every bit of it anyways. I just go by the slice at this point because it's been close every time. When I have weighed it out, it's within a gram or two, you know, give or take. There's no real reason to weigh out that for that extra gram or two variance. I mean, unless you're being 100 million% strict, but I'm already coming in at a caloric deficit every day of anywhere from 300 and up calories. So that gram or two difference is not going to be worth my time to sit out here and weigh this bread. Tried it, just not worth it. If it was a higher difference, 20 grams or something, you know, and I thought that was worth it, then I would do it, sure. but I do not see any reason to worry about that little bit of difference. Now, this griddle can fit 8 pieces of this. And yes, your hands are going to get messy. I'll put this all in my Fitness Pal, like I said. Get my, each slice is a serving. So when you build your recipe, however many slices you use, that's what you're going to put in there. I know from making this, in general, without the whey protein, I'm somewhere between 70 and 80 calories a slice. And between 9 and 10 protein per slice, grams of protein per slice. Now this whey protein is going to add calories and protein. So when I make it up, I will see where we end up then. I don't know where it's going to be. But typically we'd be in that 70 to 80 range and that 9 to 10 for protein. But I would still build it the same in my Fitness Pal either way. Just so I know. For sure. You want to cook this stuff a little bit slow and low. The outside's going to cook pretty quickly. Those egg whites will go fast, but you want to go a little bit slow for the inside. But whether it's overdone or whether even if it's a little bit underdone, but I mean egg whites are cooked pretty quickly. But you can still have it soft in the middle. Either way, I haven't minded it any way that I've cooked it, so it's been fine either way. Only thing left in this package is the heels, and I will use those, but I'm not going to use them right now. But we still got some mixture in there. Probably, I'm guessing 2 or 3 more pieces. So we'll open up the new one, get 2 or 3 more pieces, and get ready. While these cook, I'm going to get the syrup. Sugar-free, naturally flavored butter syrup. This stuff is for 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters is 10 calories. You can't beat it. You're going to use a lot of it because the way that the egg whites form kind of a coating crust in this French toast, you're going to use a lot of this stuff. So if you use the full sugar, full fat, the good stuff, I know the good stuff is better, but this is honestly not bad, and this is the best deal that I found around here. Use the Miss Butterworths, use the Great Value from Walmart, used Log Cabin. It's all fine. It's all fine. This one tastes really good to me. It's like 20 cents cheaper, and you get 3 more ounces, so whenever I can, I grab this one. It's not really any super difference than anything else, but it's good. If you use that real good, that good, you know what I'm saying, that good, you're going to add a lot of calories, a lot of sugar, and a lot of things that you really don't need. If you want to do it, man. It's your life. It's your choice. If you're doing this and you put the syrup on there, you're not exactly killing everything, but you are risking not coming in that caloric deficit that you want to be if you're trying to lose fat, lose weight, trying to cut, things like that. Try to bulk or something like that, then do this and use the sugar stuff if you want, you know? I don't care. Live your life. I'm going to throw a piece of bread in here, just let it kind of marinate while these are going. This does take a little bit. It does take a little bit to get it right. You're going to let them go for a little bit longer. I mean, if this was regular French toast, you'd be flipping it. You'd probably be done by now because you don't soak up that much. There's so much protein, egg whites in here. Yes, love it. All right, it's time to flip some of it. Get the spatula in between these pieces. They will stick together sometimes. Sometimes I will flip them as an assembly. But for the purposes of this video, get under there. It can be a little bit difficult. We start flipping. Whew. It's warm. Flippy, flippy, flippy. A little flipper never hurt anybody. Smells delicious like cinnamon. I noticed right off the bat the consistency of the outside looks a little bit different. I'm thinking that must be because of the protein powder. So we will see how it comes out, but it smells great. It still looks great and very similar. While I'm waiting on this, and I'll have a little bit of time to eat it, I need about a half hour for my pre-workout, so I'm going to mix up my pre-workout right now. What I'm using right now is this 6-star pre-workout explosion. Bomb pop flavored, baby. This stuff is really good. Give you a little bit of extra caffeine jolt after I've already had a couple cups of coffee. I don't know what my doctor would say. I know my mom's going to tell me something if she ends up watching this video. But really, it's not that bad. I have 1 cup of coffee and then like a little bit of smidge that was at the bottom of the pot. And now I'm going to have this. Just pour it in your shaker. You don't need a shaker, but I mean, if you're going to work out and do stuff like this, then you might as well get a good shaker. A little bit of water. I'm just doing tap water because the fridge water pours out very slowly. I have like a hair in my mouth. Darn cat. Shake it up. Yeah, this is... Okay, there it is, man. 12 pieces of anabolic French toast. You cannot beat it. You cannot beat it. You cannot beat it. I'm going to eat some on this fancy plate. Don't be jealous of me. I am going to weigh out my syrup. I will usually go 1 or 2 servings at a time, depending on how many pieces I think I'm going to eat. I usually start with 2, maybe 3. The most I've ever ate is at one time is 4. I know Greg and some of those dudes can eat, you know, a million pieces. I can't do that. I'm gonna slip into that one, which is the one that soaked in there for the longest. And then I'm gonna get into this one that I had cut in half. And the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take a piece of this and take a bite the way that it is. That's great. That's great. It's very similar to how it normally is. So adding the whey protein didn't do a whole lot. I can tell a minor difference, but it's 90% the same. Maybe slightly more dense. Maybe slightly more dense. But freaking fantastic. All right, let's zero out the scale. Quit moving it because it keeps, the numbers are going. You could put butter on this. I don't. I already used the butter spray on the griddle. I've used the olive oil spray, and it doesn't matter. You don't need butter. If you were going to put butter, I would recommend the 0 calorie. I can't believe it's not butter. But ultimately, I'm not worried about it. So once again, We'll go to milliliters on here. Gotta hit the right button, man. And we want 30 milliliters. For 2 slices, I'm going to go with the 1 serving. I don't know. If you're not eating this and you're trying to gain muscle and lose weight and things like that, then you're missing out. This piece underneath might have needed to cook longer. Even better with that syrup. Gives it that extra sweetness. It already has some sweet from the vanilla, the cinnamon. The whey is actually the sweetest whey I've ever had, and I have Fruity Pebble whey. It's amazing. I'm going to figure out the macros. I'm going to add that somewhere on the screen. But I'm also going to stop this video. Okay, I'm back after a quick configuration. And just a side note here, I have not checked the camera, even though I've stopped it a couple times. I don't know how well the recording is. I plan on putting this out no matter what, even if the top of my head's cut off, my whole head's cut off, if I look fat, if I look skinny, if I look stupid, if I sound stupid. I know I sound stupid, but that's fine. I plan on putting it out anyway. If the video isn't great, I hope to improve the quality. Once I figure out some things, get back into the swing of things and the habit of doing this a little bit more often. So what we have here, after plugging this into MyFitnessPal, if you're not using MyFitnessPal, it's a great tool to keep track of what you're eating, keep track of your calories, your fat, your carbs, your protein, and all that. Highly recommend it, especially if you need to lose weight or you need to definitely bulk. If you're trying to bulk, I don't know what that's like because I don't try, I just bulk. I don't need to try that hard, it just happens. But anyway, so in 12 slices with all the ingredients, everything added up, comes out to 1,053 calories total. 108.2 grams of carbs, only 6 grams of fat total, 143.5 grams of protein for the whole thing. By the slice, obviously one of those slices was a little bit smaller, sometimes more egg soaks into one or the other, or more whey in this case. Average it out, you know. Don't worry about that, especially if you're going to be the one that eats it all, then it doesn't matter. Just use what it says, and you know that you're going to catch up here or there, whether one piece is a little bit less or a little bit more or whatnot. If you're sharing it with someone, my wife does eat some of this sometimes, I still use the average out part because I know it's close in the long run. Averaged out per slice, 88 calories per slice, 9 grams of carbs, only a half gram of fat, and 12 grams of protein. So adding the whey kicked up the calories a little bit, but not dramatically. The last batch I made was 77. This is 88, so it jumped it up 11 calories, but it was only 9.4 grams of protein, and this is 12 on the button, so it added 2.6 grams of protein. Is it worth it in the long run? I think so, unless you want to drink the shakes every day, and I have in the past, but I am trying to get away from that. I'd rather eat my calories a little bit more. I lowered my intake for what I'm allowed to have. When I was eating 2,500 calories a day, I didn't mind having a shake that was anywhere from 120 to 300, depending on the ingredients I put in a shake. I didn't mind having that shake every day, but now I'm doing right around 2,000 calories, trying to be a little bit more strict and trying to lose this a little bit more evenly, a little bit faster than I was. A lot less cheat meals. My other channel is a beer channel. I haven't been on there in a while, but I still love beer. But I am taking a break from it to try to cut some of this out. And I don't want to drink my calories right now. I just don't want to drink my calories no matter what it is. So I'm drinking 6 32-ounce bottles of water a day, plus some coffee, plus my pre-workout. I don't really want to drink the calories in the shake, so I'm trying to find a way to incorporate a little bit more protein. It's not a ton, but it does add some. And at the end of the day, when I'm trying to get, you know, upwards of 175 grams of protein a day, maybe, you know, a little more, a little less, but somewhere right around there, every little bit helps. So if I eat 3 pieces of this and I'm adding 2.6 grams of protein from what I was having before per piece, yeah, it's totally worth it. It doesn't taste that much different, doesn't add too much of a different texture. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. If you want to see more stuff like this and you want to see it done better and properly, then check out Will and Greg and Rem and all the other guys that I mentioned. Check out their channels. If I can figure out how to do it, I will link them below. And if you want to see more of me fumbling around and being a buffoon in the kitchen with stuff like this, then throw me a comment, throw me a like on the video, not on Facebook or wherever I may post this. It really means more to do it on YouTube, because eventually I might make $30 a year and be able to buy one of these, and you know, that'd be cool. But no big deal if you don't like this video. Whatever, man. Don't comment, don't like it, thumbs down it, I don't care. But I would like, you know, some feedback from people that do watch it. If you've stuck this far through it, man, that is awesome. I hope the content gets better. Like I said, if you want to see some more recipes, see me fumble through some anabolic recipes, want to see me fumble through some recipes and some speaking, then let me know. Let me know, and we'll try some more things. We'll throw the anabolic ice cream on there. Yesterday I made an anabolic turkey meatloaf that was probably the best thing I ever made in my life. My kids wouldn't touch it, but I loved it, and I can't wait to eat that later. So I'm having French toast and the other best thing that I've ever made today. It's going to be a good day. Going to be a good day. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification, because you're crazy and because I'm crazy and you like to see the craziness collide and come together. And I mean, why the hell not? What else are you doing? You've already watched this long. You know you want to see some more. You know you want to see some more. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's time to go work out. Well, after a little bit more of this French toast, then it's time to work out.